There are chains you can't see, but you carry them every day. Chains made of words you feel obligated to say, of explanations you believe you must give, of justifications your mind demands you offer to people who don't even deserve to hear your reasons. These are invisible prisons. They have no form, but they weigh you down. You can't see them, but they crush you. Machiavelli knew it. True freedom doesn't come from talking more. It comes from needing to talk less. Because those who feel compelled to constantly explain themselves are already trapped. Trapped by other people's opinions, by the need to please, by the urgency to be understood by everyone. Freedom, on the other hand, is silence, but not just any silence, intentional, strategic, serene, the kind born from inner power, not fear. If you need to talk in order to validate what you do, you've already lost. Because if your action depends on being understood, then it's no longer yours, it belongs to the judgment of others. Every time you speak under pressure, you surrender power. Every time you justify the obvious, you weaken. Every time you explain your life to someone who doesn't live it, you strip yourself of your most intimate authority, the power to act without permission. Silence is not the absence of power, it is the concentration of power, its focus, its intentional energy. Its strength preserved for what truly matters. While others waste their energy trying to convince, you conserve yours to transform. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you no longer need to say everything. Because you understand that those who truly know you don't need explanations, and those who don't respect you don't deserve them. I'm ready to guard my energy, because not everyone deserves an explanation. Not everyone has the maturity to listen without judgment. Not everyone understands the value of silence, and above all, because I've learned that every unnecessary word is power leaking away, energy that dissipates, authority that slowly erodes like stone beneath the rain. I used to think that speaking was my greatest weapon. Now I know it's well-managed silence, because to speak without restraint is like a river splitting into 100 streams. Its force is lost, its impact fades. But when the flow is focused and deep, the water can cut through mountains. Words are the same. Rare words weigh more. Constant words are ignored. I don't need to justify what I chose with full awareness. I don't need the approval of someone who doesn't respect me. I don't need to convince someone who has already chosen not to understand me. Because I've learned, every time you justify yourself to someone who doesn't deserve it, you're giving away your power. You're abandoning your center. You're silently saying, your judgment matters more than my peace. He who doesn't control his need to speak will be controlled by those who know how to make him talk, because nothing reveals more than words thrown out without filter. Those who seek to dominate you will first provoke a reaction, then they'll make you explain yourself, and finally, they'll trap you in a cycle of pleasing, correcting, convincing. Machiavelli understood this. In Renaissance courts, the most powerful weren't the most eloquent. They were the most calculating, the ones who knew when to speak and when to stay silent, the ones who understood that speaking exposes you and silence protects you, those who used silence as armor. Because when you speak out of obligation, your voice loses value, but when you speak by choice, your words become law. I'm learning to observe without speaking, to decide without explaining, to act without asking for permission. I'm ready. I'm calm. My words carry weight because I don't waste them. Not everyone deserves access to the depths of who I am. And that's not selfishness, it's emotional intelligence. Not everyone knows how to handle what you reveal. Not everyone deserves to see your soul. And that's exactly why not everyone deserves your reasons. Every time you answer loaded questions disguised as concern, you accept a subordinate role in your own story. And little by little, that makes you a prisoner of people who never wanted to understand you, only to control you. But there is a way out, one that requires no shouting, no confrontation, no aggression, only presence, stillness, silence. The silence that says, I don't need your understanding to act by my own judgment. The silence that says, my life is not subject to your personal court. The stillness that declares, I am free from your expectations and judgments. Thank you for showing me that my silence can be more eloquent than 1,000 words. Because when someone accuses you unfairly and you choose not to defend yourself, you're showing mastery. When someone criticizes your decisions and you don't justify them, you're asserting sovereignty. When someone questions your priorities and you don't explain them, you're exercising true power. Emotional control is not repression, it's strategy. It's not fear, it's discernment. Some emotions deserve words, others deserve silence. Some situations call for explanations, others only require your firm presence and unwavering decision. Not everyone will understand this new version of you, and that's perfectly fine, because understanding is not a right, it's a privilege. They'll say you've become distant, cold, closed off. They'll try to provoke you into becoming the old version again, the one who over-explains, who justifies, who seeks to be liked. But you've already learned something fundamental. You're not obligated to be the version of yourself others prefer. Machiavelli understood that true freedom is the absence of the need for approval, because the one who needs to be understood by everyone never truly understands himself. The one who seeks external validation loses his inner compass. And when you no longer feel the compulsion to explain yourself at every challenge, you reclaim all the energy you once gave away to people who never deserved it. Strategic silence doesn't come from fear. It comes from power. Silence out of fear says, I won't speak because I fear the consequences. Strategic silence says, I won't speak because my energy is too valuable to waste. One chains you, the other frees you. The difference lies in intention. I am building my inner freedom through conscious silence. There are conversations I don't need to join, arguments I don't need to win, conflicts that don't involve me, people who can keep believing what they want without me needing to correct them. That's freedom, that's control, that's emotional intelligence. When someone misunderstands you and you choose not to correct them, you're exercising a rare kind of power, the power to not need to be understood. When someone judges you with incomplete information and you don't offer more, you're saying, my peace matters more than your version of me. Machiavelli viewed communication as a tool, not a compulsion. True strategists speak when it serves their purpose, not when anxiety pressures them. They know there's power in the pause, authority in restraint, respect in the economy of words. This isn't about becoming antisocial. It's about developing discernment, knowing when your voice adds value and when it only fuels the noise, knowing who deserves to hear your truth and who just wants ammo to use against you. Your inner world is a temple, not a public stage. Thank you for reminding me that my emotional energy is limited and precious. Conscious silence lets you see what you couldn't see before, hear what you once drowned out with your own justifications. Notice the subtle manipulations that pass when you're too busy defending your point. This new way of being isn't coldness, it's wisdom. It's not disinterest, it's selectiveness, it's not arrogance, it's self-respect. When you understand that you owe no explanations to those without moral authority, when you accept that not everyone will understand your path, and that's okay, something shifts permanently. The silence that breaks chains is a daily choice. It's choosing not to enter pointless debates, choosing not to explain what needs no explanation, choosing not to defend what was chosen from your center. It's knowing that not every question deserves an answer. I'm ready to live free from the compulsive need to be understood by everyone. I'm ready for my silence to be both shield and sword. Machiavelli wrote for princes, today you can become the prince of your own emotional kingdom. From that throne of conscious silence, you act with clarity. You move from power. You build a life that reflects your values, not your fears. Because in the end, the silence that breaks chains teaches you the most powerful truth. Your worth does not depend on how well you can explain it. Your freedom needs no justification. Your inner peace is not up for negotiation. I'm ready to hold my power without words, to command respect without raising my voice, to live in freedom without asking permission. Thank you. I am awake. I am silent. I am in control.